The Eighth Angel, Wings of Destiny. Include on copyright page. The Eighth Angel, Mike Fury, Kane, Pandora, and all related characters and indicia owned by Johnny Blaze / Book Surge. Page following copyright page. Also by Johnny Blaze. The Eighth Angel. The Eighth Angel, Ascension. Dorm Invasion. Virgin Blood. Midnight Asterisk. Asterisk writing as Matt Murdock. Page after next. This book is dedicated to the beautiful mystery girl I encountered in Singapore. Foreword. First and foremost, welcome to the stunning conclusion to the Kane saga. I normally don't write forewords, but I'll make an exception in this case due to the culmination that writing this particular novel means to me. Naturally, this foreword will give nothing away in regard to this final novel in the trilogy. I will, however, also take the opportunity that this foreword gives, to let fans in on a secret that's to this day guarded with extreme vitality. A lot of readers ask the question, do the books of the Arcane really exist? In a word, yes. For those of you who want the whole story, I honestly have to say I don't know it. But here's how the legend goes. The sacred books were originally penned before the time of dinosaurs, by a group of mystic priests from another dimension. Contained in the books are, according to archaeologists and researchers of the unknown, the very secrets of the universe. Some of the questions supposedly answered in the mystic books are, how was the universe created, does God really exist, and is there life on other planets? As for those also wondering where I get my samples for my books from, no, I do not have a personal copy of any of the volumes. In fact, I know a friend who does. He happens to live in Cairo, Egypt, and runs a small museum on the city's limits. There, in a protective display case, is his much treasured collection of its volumes. Due to my annual trips to Egypt and West Africa, and also due to my much cherished friendship with the particularly scholarly Egyptian, I get to bring home a marvelous array of quotes and incantations from his sacred possession. So rest assured none of the poems and quotes I transfer to the opening pages of my occasional novel are made up. They are derived from the actual books of the Arcane. Now, without further delay, here's the breathtaking third segment of Kane's journal. So dim the lights, and enjoy. Johnny Blaze. Brisbane, Australia. August 2008. Between the light and the darkness is a guardian. He is Kane. And he is the Savior. Taken from the last pages of Volume 6 of the Books of the Arcane, Revelations Between Dimension and Space. Prologue. It's me. Kane. Here I am in heaven itself. It's not exactly what it's made out to be, I can tell you that much. Some of you may be wondering how I got here. It's a long story, and you'll find it in my previous journal. The reward of ascension came with a price, unfortunately. This is why I have to go back to Earth. It's Jez. She got left behind. I have no choice. I have to go back for her. 1. Mike. I opened my eyes. My vision was blurry for a few seconds, then began to clear. Pandora. It's okay, honey. I'm here. Pandora's beautiful face loomed above me. Her clear blue eyes looked deep into mine. I swallowed. I felt strange. Alive, in fact, more alive than ever. But empty, strangely hollow. I knew why. Pandora's expression turned to one of understanding. It's Jez, isn't it? I nodded. Yet. She isn't here, is she? No, honey. You must have left her back in your world. My eyes welled with tears. I have to go back. You can't. At least not yet. Why? Pandora's expression was now dead serious. It's Dravu. He's here. My God. He must have rode in with me. She nodded. What happened back there? I shook my head. We had a fight. Big time. Pandora looked confused. I don't understand. It's a long story. I raised my head. Pandora was naked, of course. I studied my surroundings. The color blue was all around me. I looked down and realized that I was suspended in midair, in a horizontal position. Below me, all I could see was more blue. Pandora straddled my middle. I tried to take a deep breath, and realized that I didn't need to breathe, where I was. Suddenly, realization dawned on me. I think I know what happened. Pandora's innocence was really a sight to behold. I still don't understand, Mike. The portal, between here and Earth. It was meant to be me and Jez who came through. But somehow Dravyu managed to cross over with me, leaving no way for Jez to come through. Pandora now looked frightened. I'm scared, Mike. I touched her cheek tenderly. I know, babe. But don't be. I won't let him ruin your world. I promise. She took my hand in hers and kissed it. I grinned. I guess you should get off me. A corner of her mouth tilted up. Oh. Sorry. She clambered off me and stood by my side, the soles of her feet touching nothing but space. I shook my head. Amazing. I then stood up myself. All right, I now said. You'd better show me around. She nodded. Sure. Come with me. She turned around and started walking. As I followed, her backside flexed and slightly jiggled with the motions of her steps. I followed her for what seemed like maybe a minute, though I had no idea if time even existed here in heaven. She seemed to finally walk out of the strange blue environment. As she stepped out of it, a pink haze drifted around her, she then disappeared. I did the same, and now found myself in a white environment. Pandora looked over her shoulder. This is my kitchen. Would you like something to drink? I nodded. A glass suddenly appeared in my right hand. In it was what appeared to be some sort of fruit juice. It was orange, so I assumed it was orange juice. I took a sip. It was. I drank down the rest of it thirstily. Feel better? I nodded. Much better. Great. Let's go outside. She started walking again, and I followed. In what seemed like another minute, she walked out of the kitchen and we now found ourselves in an outdoor environment. Here, things were identical to Earth. To be more precise, it was what appeared to be a forest of some kind. We were now actually standing on solid ground, and there were tall pine trees all around us. There seemed to be an atmosphere of air surrounding us, and it smelled fresh and wonderfully clean. Pandora turned around and grinned, looking extremely vivacious. Come in, silly. She started running. I ran after her. Minutes later, we were out of the forest. A large waterfall could be seen to our right, it cascaded down, sounding very loud. It fell into what appeared to be a miniature lake. Pandora turned around and ran back to me. Isn't this great? She said, panting. This place has anything you could possibly want. All you have to do is want something, and you've got it. I couldn't help but smile. Wow! That really is unbelievable. My smile started to fade. But you know what I really want, don't you? Pandora's expression changed too. She now looked serious. I know. We'll get her here, Mike. I'm sure there's a way. Yet. I looked into the distance, missing Jez. But I guess first things first, we have to defeat Dravyu. Pandora walked up to me and put her arms around my neck. We'll do it together, Mike. I'm a part of this, now. She pressed herself against me. I felt her rigid nipples against my chest. My penis stiffened. My thoughts were now focused on Pandora, and Pandora alone. She leaned closer and kissed me passionately on the lips. Anything you want, Mike. Anything you want. 2. Back in Pandora's house, we hung around in her den. The den was again like the rest of her house, empty space, this time orange instead of blue or white. Lying against me, with her head on my chest, she asked, "What kind of shows do you like to watch on television, back home?" I grinned. "I don't know. Something with lots of girls." She giggled. "How's this?" She then snapped her fingers. Suddenly, a huge white screen appeared before our eyes. It flashed static for a few seconds, then images appeared on it, in 3D, no less. The show on the screen was what you might call an artsy porno. There were 3 young women in it, making love to each other, exploring every orifice on their bodies. Whoa! I started to get an erection. Like I said, anything you want. I sighed. If only I could make Jez appear at the snap of a finger. Pandora frowned. I know. But if she's on Earth, you can't. She has to come through a portal. I know. We'll find a way, Mike. I know how much she means to you. I smiled. Thanks, babe. I kissed her tenderly on the forehead. Then, in a more serious tone, I said, "But first things first. We have to find Dravu and destroy him, once and for all." Pandora nodded, the urgency of my mission obviously clear to her. Now. We'll need a plan, won't we? Yet. Here's what we could do for starters. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. Who am I? I am Dravu. I am the infinite, and I am darkness. I am here now, within you, and beyond you. You fear me, as you fear fear itself. I bring you chaos, I bring you damnation. I shall destroy Cain, as I have destroyed you. This is a promise, I guard with my very being. There is nowhere you can't find me, there is nowhere I cannot go. I leave behind me a world I no longer need. A legion of darkness did I deceive, the kingdom of Eden shall I rule. Only Cain stands in my way. But by the time this is over, I shall have devoured his very meaning. I look around me. Heaven boasts beauty I do not hunger. Ah, but the flesh. I sense it. Cain calls it hope. I call it a temporary delay. Once it's devoured, Cain will have nothing to live for. He will be only half of who he were. I move forward. The strange environment bothers me. It is empty, not even air seems to exist here. But it hides a secret. A secret I shall discover. 3. All right, I said. We know this much. If Dravu's near us, we should be able to feel him. At the moment, we can't feel him at all, which means he must be pretty far away. Pandora nodded. Also, we know how dirty the bastard can get. He'll probably try and get to me through you. Which means. I hate to say it. My expression turned grimmer. He might try to destroy you before me. Pandora swallowed. Gee. I never thought of that. I was quiet for a few seconds. I know. We could trick him. Maybe use a decoy. Don't tell me. Yab. Jennifer. But you'll have to get her here. I nodded. That's the tricky part. Pandora's face suddenly lit up. Hey. Wait a minute. Aren't you forgetting something? This is heaven. It's full of magic. I started to understand what she meant. You're right. Maybe if we could find a spell or something to bring Jennifer here. And Jez too, of course. Exactly. There really aren't any limits here, Mike. Anything's possible, if we use the magic the right way. But don't forget. Dravu's got powers too. I don't know how good they are over here, but if I've got this figured right, our powers will probably be weaker when he's near. Nodding, Pandora said, I guess we'd better get to work quickly then, huh? Before he finds us. Yet. Just how powerful is the magic here? Could you give me a demonstration? Pandora looked thoughtful for a moment. Wish for something and snap your fingers. Just like that. Just like that. I closed my eyes and made a wish, then opened my eyes and snapped my fingers. To my left appeared a sleek black car, which almost resembled a jet. Whoa! Pandora grinned. Told ya. A little stunned, I walked around the futuristic machine, inspecting it with awe. It had a single wing-like door on the left side. I pushed the black square-shaped button on it, and a laser-guided motor whirred, the door opened upwards. A sexy female voice made an announcement. Welcome. Please be seated. I did as she suggested. The door shut on its own. Red lights turned on all around me. A simple panel of variously colored buttons were to my right. One particular button caught my eye, it said go. Naturally, I pushed it. The car suddenly shot forward, at a speed you down there probably wouldn't have believed. The rush was unbelievable, exhilarating. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. Come to me now, Legion of Night. Feel the echoes of thy summoning. Respond now, or forever feel my wrath. This audio file was created by Panopreter Basic. You can download it at www.panopreter.com.